Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Welcome, this is Ralph White, and we're Consulting to Win Radio, and we're here to coach you in the game of business in a win-win model, and we define winning as results that you can be accountable for. I'm here today with Bonnie Landau as our guest and our co-host, and Bonnie's going to be talking with us about blogging. And I'm very interested in this subject, Bonnie. It's all over the place. I see it on the internet. I'm reading articles about it. It's everywhere. But, people are talking about the 100 million or six-figure blogger and how to blog and books on blogging, and I'm like swamped with all these things about blogging. And I'm looking for you to like simplify it down and make what do you do the best, which is make it so I can understand it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so how do I make money blogging? How do I condense it down to like, okay, do these things and it'll work for you? Can you help me, Bonnie?
Oh yeah, there's a lot you can do with blogging to make it work for you. It's 2010, they say, is the year that blogging is going to become mainstream. A few years back, it was if you didn't have a website, your business lacked a certain legitimacy. And now it's obvious you need to have a website if you have a business.
Right.
Blogging's moving into that same territory. Blogging has become the way that the companies connect with their customers.
I mean, was it a couple of weeks ago we had the lady call in on a coaching call and ask for a mommy blog? I mean, it's like everybody's got a blog.
Well, and a lot of people, for those of you out there, wonder like, well, I've heard all of this about blogging, but isn't it just a diary? And the fact is that is how blogging began. People were, talking about what they were doing every day or talking about, being a mommy or something like that. But then what happened was businesses started recognizing this is a great way to have conversations and interact with our customers. So businesses started taking advantages of blogging. And so now blogging is not a diary per se. It's any collection of information that is put out on a regular basis. And then they use blogging platforms, programs to actually run the blog. So there's some consistency in the way the information is delivered. So a blog can be any collection of information that is written or even visual. People do video blogs. They do photo blogs. And one of my favorite blogs to go to is called Environmental Graffiti, which is really beautiful, environmentalgraffiti.com. And every day they put out collections of the most unique photographs. Like one the other day, they had insects laughing at photographers, and these insects, like they were just in funny postures or they had funny faces, and it was just there's kind of photos that you might share with your kids, And but that's a blog, and it's photographs. So it's not just written information.
So I mean, this is like exploding the information age. I mean, it's making it exponential. It was exponential. I don't know what's beyond exponential, but it's getting substantially bigger, as we speak. So it's like more people expressing themselves, putting more information out. Where is it going?
Well, in terms of business, blogging is an excellent opportunity to expand your business. And there's a lot of different things that you might look for in a blog to help with your business. So one of the simplest things that people look for, they think, in order to gain eyeballs on my website, I need to get search engine optimized links. That's the key. Get the most links coming into your site, then you're more popular in Google and more people find you. And the way you get those links is generate a lot of content. Well, obviously, a blog is a perfect vehicle for that. You generate content, you can interlink it back with your site, and suddenly you've generated your own link building engine right within your own company. So that would be kind of a simple way to say, I want to get more eyeballs to my website. But there's another opportunity with blogging that really helps you connect with your customers. And that is, a blog is an opportunity for you to share your expertise and establish yourself as an authority out in cyberspace.
Okay, so I know it. We have a blog, and I have a art blog, so it's I'm working with both of them, and it actually puts pressure on you to become even more of an expert. To study more, come up with more information, stay more current on it. So it's kind of a twofold thing. I mean, you're putting out information, sharing information, but you're also hunting for more information to keep more current on things. So it's kind of a double-edged sword on on the blogger.
Well, yes, it helps you keep abreast. And, later in the show, I'll talk about how to start a blog and, what that entails. And we'll talk about what that means in terms of your time and what you got to do. But it's true, if you have a blog in a certain area that requires expertise in staying on top of trends, there's a certain time you're going to have to invest on keeping on top of those trends.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of blogs? You talked about video blogs. You talked about, a couple of other kinds of blogs. But, what would be like, it seems to me like I need a purpose for my blog.
Absolutely. I mean, your blog, the reason you might create a blog for your business could be you want to improve your SEO. You want to establish your expertise. You want to create more of a connection with your customers. It's an opportunity to create a dialogue. You want to maybe create connections with other colleagues in your industry through blogging and guest blogging, letting them blog on your blog and you on theirs. You create some strength in your industry. You might also want to use it as a way to announce things about your business, so it's become sort of like a PR engine for you. And it could also be a time-saving thing. So if you find yourself explaining the same things over and over and over to all your different customers, your blog can be a central repository of information. So when people ask the questions, you can say, go read the blog. That's how the Landau Design blog got started.
Okay.
Because I kept answering the same questions. I said, I should just write this down. And so we use it all the time, saying,
Okay.
go read this, go read that. So, when you choose, you ask, what kind of, you need a purpose with the blog. And there is no question that your blog should have a focus.
Okay.
And so you need to look at why you're blogging, all those things I talked about. Why are you blogging? And based upon why you're blogging, then you pick your focus. So for example, if you're going to focus, you're using the blog for SEO purposes, that's search engine optimization, then you're going to blog on information that relates back to your business, because you want the keywords that relates back to your business. So for example, at Possibilities Unlimited on our blog, we would use terms such as consulting, business coaching, executive coaching, sales to win, how to grow your sales. So we want to use terms that relate back to the business in order to gain the indexing for search engines.
Okay.
So that would be a way to choose the purpose of your blog. But let's say that the purpose of your blog is to connect with your customers. So now you have to pick a subject on your blog that your customers are interested in. So a good example would be, let's say you're a realtor. Okay, you might think, what would a realtor blog on?
Mm-hmm.
Real estate?
I would think so.
Well, the thing is by the time someone comes to a realtor, they've chosen to buy something or sell something, and they may not really want to read the blog. But the thing that would keep you connected to the realtor is if realtors tend to have territories that they cover. So let's say you sell houses in a certain area, like the beach cities. You might start a blog about living in the beach cities, because then the people who live there would enjoy the blog, and when they decide to move, they'll remember you. And people who are moving into the area would enjoy the blog and use it as a tool to research and learn about the area, and again, remember you. So in this way, you're trying to connect with your customers. So you want to connect in the area that they are going to most often want to hear from you, which is a real estate sale is a momentary blip on a person's life.
Right.
Whereas living in an area is, continuous. So you can stay connected with people who, maybe for years they'll read your blog, and then when they're ready to sell their house, they call you.
Yeah. I'm thinking along that lines, you could also talk about on your blog about how to increase real estate values.
Absolutely.
And track them.
Yes, so you could bring in some of the real estate into the blog.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I'm starting to see that it's relevant information, something that your potential clients or your target market would be interested in, that they'd want to come back to check in on, to see what's current, what's changed, it's sort of like going into a store to see what's different and what's new.
And going back to that caller that we had last time about parenting blogging.
Uh-huh.
So she has decided to focus on time saving and money saving for parents of many children. So their parenting is a very broad topic, but now she's brought in a topic that solves problems for the readers.
Oh, great.
So we go right back to that, find the source of the issue, what's the problem to be solved, and then you can use your blog to solve the problem, and then you become useful. You become a helping hand, and then remember that.
Okay, so they will see her as an expert because I believe she had like 5 or 6 children.
5 children, yes.
5 children. So anybody with 5 children is an expert on being a mother, and having that number of children requires her to save money.
Mm-hmm.
So
and time is a premium.
Right. Okay, good. I can see that. So that she's already has credibility, and then she's talking about the subjects, and as her kids get older, her expenses go up. So she would continue to be have relevant information, so the people would keep coming back to see what advice does she have.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can see that.
But don't you see that the beginning has to be, what do you want to get out of the blog?
Right.
You have to start with what's the end result that you want. If you're establishing credibility as an expert, you're going to approach it very differently than if you're working on creating that dialogue with the customers. And it may be a blend of the two, and again, you got to look at it.
Yeah. How do I know that the blog's going to benefit my business?
Well, basically, you have to think about a couple things. Do you want to increase traffic to your website? Would increased traffic, would the end result benefit your business? Do you have the kind of website that when people find it, they would be interested in eliciting services?
Okay.
Would publicity benefit your business? So if you really going to do your blog consistently and you market your blog, would that extra attention benefit your business? Now, it might benefit your business in a way that you're not recognizing. So, for example, on the Landa Design blog, what we're getting is requests for speaking engagements, coming in and giving seminars on topics like social media and SEO. That was an unexpected bonus that came out of it. Remember, our blog was originally to save us time.
Right.
And we didn't realize all the other benefits until we dove into it that it was going to bring to us. So you want to think about what you want, what the benefits might be of having a blog, and think, wow, would that really help my business? Sometimes companies are very large and have a lot of customers, and a blog is a way to keep connected with those people, especially if you really manage the commenting on the blog, and when somebody comments, you reply. And so they feel like they're getting some connection with you. It can really facilitate really positive customer service.
Yeah. Something I've seen that people respond back to you. If you go in and write comments on people's blogs, they write back to you.
And that's an important part of nourishing your blog.
Yeah. So it would seem to me like that's a way, you can connect with people that oftentimes you couldn't get past the gatekeeper, or they wouldn't necessarily return your call. But I know when somebody responds, writes a comment on our blog, I respond back to them. So it's a way to get, connect with people that you might not otherwise be able to reach.
And that's so key. It's so key. And, if you have your own blog and you go comment on other people's blogs, it is a way to you can actually pick specific people to create a connection with, because you can go and say, I really like what you wrote today. I actually did this today on somebody's blog, on the Landa Design blog. I wrote a blog about how to publicize your blog by listing it in blog directories around the internet. And if you want to read that article, it's at simplewebtoolbox.com. And then I was tweeting it out, and one of my blogging friends in South Africa, his name is Robert Bravery, he actually just created a private blogging directory where bloggers can go and list their blog. And so I went back and edited my blog and put a link to his new directory. And then I wrote a comment on his blog and said, this is such a great idea. I edited my blog today to include you. Now, Robert's somebody who's asked me to guest blog on his blog, and I never would have met him if it hadn't been for Twitter, but he is somebody who promotes my blog and I promote his as a way to share in the whole social media exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly how commenting can work. You can develop relationships. It could be like Robert and I just connected on Twitter, or it could be people you specifically want to connect with. You go comment on their blog and get recognized by them. It's a way that you might not have been able to reach them otherwise.
Right. Yeah, I was on the web this morning, and I was looking at different books, and I ended up on Vern Harnish website, and he wrote the book the Rockefeller Habits, and which I've read that book, and I very much like the book, and I just hooked up and invited him to join my LinkedIn network. I sit there and said, do I push this button? Would this guy respond back and join my LinkedIn network? And I'm like, no, he doesn't know me. But I decided, okay, go ahead and do it. And he responded back and joined my LinkedIn network. And I'm like, wow, this author, doesn't know me. Now he's in my LinkedIn network, and which hooks me into a whole bunch of other people. Or now in my LinkedIn network, which is like, it was just like a nice feeling that, that I'm now connected to millions of more people as a result of, somebody that I said and sent a message that I read your book and I liked your book. So it's, it's both a great networking thing, but is there sort of a interesting feeling to connect with people, through social marketing.
And it really is. And the great thing about blogging is that you can use your own voice and you can write it the way you want to write it, and you're not limited by the 140 characters of Twitter, and you can start conversations. I mean, your blog for your business could be a way that you get feedback from your customers, and it might be a vehicle that you've never used before. On the internet, if you have a website, if you have to get a survey or a poll going that's a little technical, you might not have to do it, you might have to pay for it. But on a blog, that's a way to do it very non-technical that anybody could do it.
Well, it sounds like it's getting to the point where it isn't a question of whether I should have a blog or I shouldn't. If I'm in business, it looks like the path we're on, ultimately, a business is going to have a blog.
Well, yes and no, because there's one really, really, really key point in doing a blog, and that's time.
Okay.
Okay, so, when you're looking at whether or not you should create a blog, you want to look at what are the benefits of a blog, and will that benefit my business? And if the answer is yes, that's really great, but that doesn't mean that you just launch into doing a blog. The first thing you really got to ask yourself if you're going to decide to do a blog is, who's going to write it? Is the writing quality going to be where you want it to be? Is it going to say what you want it to say? And do they have time to write it?
Okay. Roughly what kind of time are we talking about to keep a blog up?
That's really dependent. We'll talk about that in the last segment, how to put together a schedule. But it's really dependent on the blog. But I really want to drive this point home about the time, because if you don't have enough time to do your blog, it's worse than not doing it at all. Okay, because there's an inconsistency there. So if you start doing your blog and you're doing great for 3 or 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden you drop off, what happens is people who've gotten in the habit of reading, they're like, what happened? Did they fall off the planet? Are they still in business? And often what will happen is you'll be doing it, and then you get busy and you put it on the back burner. But like every other marketing effort, it has to be a priority. It has to be put into the calendar. So when you're considering whether or not you should do a blog for your business, it's not just about what am I going to get out of it. You got to think about what am I going to put into it.
Okay, so it's you got to sort of like plan it out, get out in front of it, make some serious decisions. It looks like it's a serious commitment that you've got to make to this project.
Yes.
Okay, all right. We're going to take a break here, and if you're interested in asking Bonnie questions about this, please call in at 310-371-5444. That's 310-371-5444, and we'll be right back.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
Making it perfect or nothing else is the company culture at Goldbrecht USA, a premier luxury window and door manufacturer. Doing business since 1889, every window and door is made with old-world craftsmanship and the finest materials, meticulous design, sleek finishing, and a commitment to the environment. They even use environmentally friendly transportation. Made in Germany, available in the U.S., Goldbrecht USA is located in Santa Monica, California. For the world's best windows and doors, visit www.goldbrechtusa.com or call now at 310-393-5540. That's 310-393-5540.
If you're like the 8 out of 10 women that say finding jeans that fit is a problem, well, your problem is solved. Lee Jeans has done extensive research, and they have jeans that fit. There's even an online Lee Fit Finder so you can find the right fit for you. Imagine jeans that instantly slim you with a custom fit and no gap waistband. And guys, kids, Lee has jeans for you too. Click through to Lee's Jeans on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page and get what fits.
Put a little light in your life and keep it shining with Intellectric.net, a full-service lighting design company. If you need a top electrical contracting firm to deal with all facets of electrical, from concept to completion, including repair, call Intellectric.net at 310-838-5486. They can use green technology. They are home automation specialists and they are high-end residential specialists. With prompt and efficient service, Intellectric.net has over 10 trucks, 28 employees, and on-call electricians available to handle your needs. Educated in state-of-the-art techniques and technology for all your electrical needs. Call dependable, innovative Intellectric.net today at 310-838-5486. Keep your light shining. Call 310-838-5486 or visit online at Intellectric.net.
HealthyLife.net for healthy side effects.
Okay, this is Ralph White and Bonnie Landau, and we're Consulting to Win Radio, and we're talking about blogs, and Bonnie's here, an expert in that arena. And we have a caller on the line by the name of Sally from Orange County. Hello, Sally. How are you today?
Fine, fine.
Excellent, excellent. What's your question about blogs?
My question about blogs is it better to have the blog on your website or separate from your website?
That's an excellent question. And actually, that question goes into the SEO pot, the search engine optimization pot. And the answer is separate. And the reason why is a couple reasons. First of all, if your website's on a separate domain than your website, then the internet, the search engines will see it as two separate websites. And so when you do the reciprocal linking between them, you get search engine optimization points. It's an excellent way to gain those points for your website, for your business. So what that means is when you post a blog, within the context of the blog, if you put in keywords that relate back to what you do, what is your blog?
My blog is a junk removal business.
Oh, great. Okay. So when you're in, writing a blog about it, if there's a key phrase, how to move the junk, or how to find an expert in junk removal, you would highlight that phrase and link it back to a page on your website. That would be like one SEO link point. And the more you can do that, the better it is for the ranking of your website. So it's really great when the blog is on a separate platform than your website. The second reason that you would put it on a separate platform is some of the platforms have their own way of indexing and cataloging the blog. So you're going to get more people coming to see your blog. So for example, blogger.com, which is one a lot of people use, they're owned by Google and they get indexed every day. Your website's not going to get indexed every day. It'll get indexed about once a month. So your blogs are going to get indexed much faster than your website will. And again, that plays into the whole SEO game.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
Thank you very much for calling.
Bye-bye.
Anyone else that would like to call, the number is 310-389-2216. 371-5444. And we're talking about blogging, and that's a very interesting subject for today, and a hot topic. So, all right. So what else should we know about blogging, Bonnie?
Well, let's talk about, if you have a blog for your company or if you want to start a blog, what are the components that are really important to consider in order to really streamline your blog so you can get the most out of it?
Okay.
So this is in terms of creating your blog. So the first thing, we talked a little bit about the subject of your blog.
Right.
And it's really important that you pick a niche subject, that one that you can really hone in on. So, a great example would be, if you're doing parenting. We talked about that other caller. She does parenting. Parenting is a very broad subject.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that you can cover. And your blog can start to feel like a patchwork quilt with too many different fabrics.
Okay.
If you're hitting too many topics. So it's really, really good to hone in on a very specific topic and then keep it there. Now, once your blog is really established, you can go outside your topic sometimes.
Okay.
But it's really important to stay within the realm of that niche. So, and this is something, you really want to look at what kind of questions are your customers asking you, or what kind of needs do they have that you could satisfy through a blog. So we talked about the realtor may not do real estate blogging. They would talk about the area, living in the area that they cover, but then maybe bringing in a little bit of the real estate. So that's what I'm talking about, focusing in on a very specific topic.
Okay, so we've got the specific topic. We're creating ourselves as the recognized expert in that area, sort of the go-to place for that subject. We've got our blog. How often are we should we post this blog?
Okay, well, first you got to figure out who's going to write the blog. Now, if you have multiple people in your company, that's ideal because it's easier for more than one person to manage the blog.
Okay.
So once you figure out who can write the blog, then you can say how much time can we invest in the blog. And remember, it's so key to be consistent. So you want to be really realistic with the commitment you're going to make. So it's ideal for a business to post 5 days a week, at least once a day, Monday through Friday. I can tell you that the six-figure bloggers out there, when they began, would often post 5 times a day.
5 times a day?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, like the Mashable, which I think is the biggest blog in the world. They focus in on trends in social media. I was reading a book where he posts, when he started, he posted 4 to 7 times a day.
Wow.
Because he's generating a lot of content. When you generate a lot of content, you get indexed by Google, you get found.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, but optimum for a business, it's realistic to do 5 times a day. Okay. At a minimum, 1 time per week.
Okay.
Okay, at a minimum. So somewhere in between there. So you want to be really realistic. Who's going to write the blog and how much time do they have?
Okay.
To write the blog. And when you look at that, what you want to consider is that we are not writing articles that are going to be published in Time magazine.
Okay.
Okay? So you don't want to spend hours writing one blog post. Now, this is not Pulitzer Prize authoring.
Okay.
You want to keep your post short. You don't want to go beyond 6 paragraphs.
Okay.
Bulleted lists are even better because people read them better online. But you really want to consider that someone's going to spend a half an hour to 45 minutes per post. That would be kind of the optimum time that you're spending. And they can write well enough that they can generate a post that doesn't have to be edited and rehashed and all that stuff. And with that amount of commitment, you decide how many times a week you're going to post. Okay. They need to put it into their calendar. We talk about
definitely.
This all the time on the
Right.
show.
Yes.
Yes. It's so critical to put that time into your calendar that you're going to write your blog and stick to it. It is not the time to check email or to say, oh, well, I don't have time today to do it. You consider it as a meeting with a customer because that's what you're doing. You're meeting your customers online through your blog.
Okay. So let's say that I'm doing a blog 3 times a week and I've scheduled a time to do it. I'm focused on a particular subject. So now I'm developing content. I'm on, let's say, Blogger. and I'm hooking it back and referring back to my web page. Okay, what else should I be focusing on?
Well, now what you got to do is prepare your blog ahead of time. Okay, so it's not ideal that if you're posting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you shouldn't sit down at 8 o'clock on Monday morning and write Monday's blog. So
Okay.
you have to figure out a way to pre-write your blog. And the blogging tools like Blogger and stuff, actually you can pre-post and say, you can put a blog in, type it all in there and format it and say to it, launch it 3 days from now or launch it a week from now. You can put in
Okay.
the date when you want to launch it. So you need to pre-plan your blog. And what you should do is sit down with your blogging team, or, if you're doing it yourself, with some friends that also blog and say, can you help me? And sit down and brainstorm a very long list of possible ideas of things that you can blog about. At Landa Design, our blogging concept list is over 150 ideas.
You're
Okay.
that far ahead?
No, we haven't written them. I'm talking about a list of ideas of what we could blog about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just like a concept list.
Okay.
So what you do is you make this whole list, and if you have subjects, within your blog so for example, on the Landa Design blog, we blog about social media, SEO, blogging, web design, and our favorite web development tool, which is Joomla. So our subject list for possible blogs is broken up into those groups, and we make sure that we cycle through the subjects every week. So I'm not posting 5 days in a row about SEO because some people are more interested in social media, so I make sure I'm going to cover through my genre the different areas. But this idea list is your way of saying I'm going to have a blog, 3 months out, and here's all the ideas I can blog about.
Okay.
And then what you do is pick, 5 ideas for the first week, or 3 if you're going to post 3, and get them done that week. And then start 3 for the next week and get them done. And ideally, you should be a week ahead on your blog.
Okay.
So you're not posting at the last minute.
Okay, good. Excellent. So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, Bonnie's going to have some more good ideas on how to do your blogging and stay out ahead in front of it. All right, we'll be right back.
There are 3 wise women at Possibilities Unlimited, and if you want to improve your business's bottom line, you'll want to get to know them because they want to help you with your business, and they can. Wise web woman Bonnie Landau will help make your website the best it can be. She'll help you with all web-related things, including social media. Wise marketing woman Mary Mullinoff wields her magic to find and obtain sales leads for you, and she'll help you identify and qualify prospects. Leanne Farmer, wise work life woman, hones your customer relations, communications, and sales skills as she teaches you how to manage your work and life in balance. There are options of coaching with one or all 3 wise women. Get to know them now. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538, or visit consulting2win.com. That's consulting, 2, win.com.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Demystify the world of social marketing and get it to work for you. You can maximize your market potential in sales, and Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited can help. Discover how to use Twitter, LinkedIn, and more to market your business. Learn how to expand your prospect base, improve your web presence, but more importantly, get results. Your possibilities are unlimited. Social networking can impact your bottom line in a positive way. Find out how with Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited. Call today at 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538, or visit consulting2win.com. Consulting, 2, win.com.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
All positive talk with a mature edge. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Ralph White and Bonnie Landau, and we're consulting to Win Radio. And we have a caller, Jeff from Redondo Beach. Hello, Jeff. How are you today?
Good, Ralph. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. You have a question about blogging?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a sense of what time it's going to take and how to really get conversations and what to write about. It seems like I don't quite know what to write about, and I don't know what kind of value to give to people that would have them come back and read it or even, click into it.
Yeah, finding that niche is often really tricky. What kind of business do you have, Jeff?
We do custom windows and doors, work with a lot of architects and builders.
Okay, so your client base is mostly architects and builders?
Correct.
Okay, and do you ever have contact with the consumer who purchases the product?
Yeah, we do. We do. I like having contact with consumers, actually.
So the people that, the consumers that you, they're going to drive your products. So you create a special product and they need to go through the architects or the designers to get to you, right?
Well, typically, the architect is designing a project and designs our product into it. Mm-hmm. So usually our first point of contact is getting the value, just having the architect see the value of our product and specifying our product, or the builder seeing the value of our product and wanting to use our product. Typically a new home or a large remodel.
Are there any other products, complementary products to your own, that you often share information about with the architects?
I will sometimes. I have a long history in the window and door fenestration business, so I can refer them like the Skylight companies or people like that.
You see, the thing is that it's really important when you pick your topic that you have a topic that you can write a lot about. This is not an uncommon problem that people pick a topic and they're like, now what do I write? So what I'm trying to do is help you figure out what kind of a need could you fill for those architects. If there's complementary products and you could be the trend keeper about what's happening in those products in the industry, and which would mean that you would read other blogs on your industry, on what's going on in terms of finishes, maybe new products, new designs, innovative uses of products, and that you would become the place they would come to say, oh, what's going on when it comes to, customizing windows and doors in homes. And in writing that, one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize is you do not have to write unique content for your blog. What you can do is, if you are a trend keeper and you're watching what's going on out there, that would mean that you would read other blogs and you would see when something interesting came up. On your blog, you would write just a one paragraph saying, this is really cool, look at this new innovation and the way they use this product, go to so-and-so's blog to see it, and then you would link over to that blog. Now, it might take you, 20 minutes of reading blogs to find it, but it would take you just a few minutes to write that. So you don't have to write articles that are always, full information articles. You can refer out to other places on the web, and you know what? The people on those other blogs love it because you just gave them referral.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to spend that much time researching, maybe 20 minutes or so, looking at other people's blogs and then just doing a quick recap on my blog and just letting people know what's going on.
Right. So your blog becomes the industry trend watch, and they'll know to come to your blog to see what's going on, what's hip. Now, Jeff, do you keep a blog reader? Do you know what that is? Okay. On the Landau Design blog, this simple web toolbox, there is an article there about how to set up a reader. And what a reader is, it's a place where you can bring together a bunch of blogs that you're reading, and it makes it really easy to sift through them very quickly. So if you start following a whole bunch of blogs in your industry, you will keep tabs, and then your blog becomes the conglomerate. You become the focal point. So then all those other architects and then designers, they don't have to spend the time reading all the other blogs. They'll know that you're going to bring it to them.
Great coaching. Thank you, Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you become the focal point and the go-to person, and they'll think of you first. He's doing the work for us. He's the guy that's knows what's in, and so we'll think of him and go there first.
And Jeff, with that approach, doesn't it feel a lot easier to be able to do your blog?
It does. And then, it does. It's a lot easier. And then how would I integrate some of our materials or our product into this blog also?
Well, you were part of the industry, so announcements about your products, your materials, and your new things is just as relevant as anybody else's. So your blog is a vehicle to say this is the industry trends, and this is how we are contributing to those trends. So you can always write articles about yourself on your blog as well. It's just as pertinent.
Excellent.
And then you link back to your website.
Yes, please.
Right.
Now, one thing I want to note to you also, Jeff, is if you are linking to those other blogs, be sure you let them know, because they may reciprocate. So it's an opportunity to create conversations with people who are in complementary businesses, and you may then get links to them and then have more people find you.
How do I let other blogs know that I'm writing about them?
And you can put it on their blog. When you see a post that you like, in a comment you could say, I really love this post. I'm going to link back to it from my blog. Or on people's blogs, there's usually a contact us email link, and you click on it and just send them an email saying, I really like what you wrote. I'm gonna link to it from our blog. Just wanted to let you know.
Great. That's simple.
Mm-hmm. And these are things that once you get the pattern going, if you have people who help you in your company, you can delegate things like that to them.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you, Jeff, for calling in. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you both. That was great information.
All right. So anyone else that'd like to call in, the number is 310-371-5444. That's 310-371-5444. And if you have any questions you want us to address on the show, send an email to ralph@consultingtowin.com. That's ralph@consultingtowin.com. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have some more information on blogging from Bonnie Landau.
There are 3 wise women at Possibilities Unlimited, and if you want to improve your business's bottom line, you'll want to get to know them, because they want to help you with your business, and they can. Wise web woman Bonnie Landau will help make your website the best it can be. She'll help you with all web-related things, including social media. Wise marketing woman Mary Mullinoff wields her magic to find and obtain sales leads for you, and she'll help you identify and qualify prospects. Leanne Farmer, wise work life woman, hones your customer relations, communications, and sales skills as she teaches you how to manage your work and life in balance. There are options of coaching with one or all 3 wise women. Get to know them now. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538, or visit consultingtowin.com. That's consulting2win.com.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Demystify the world of social marketing and get it to work for you. You can maximize your market potential in sales, and Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited can help. Discover how to use Twitter, LinkedIn, and more to market your business. Learn how to expand your prospect base, improve your web presence, but more importantly, get results. Your possibilities are unlimited. Social networking can impact your bottom line in a positive way. Find out how with Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited. Call today at 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538 or visit consulting2win.com. Consulting number 2win.com.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? Would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
All positive talk with a mature edge. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Consulting to Win Radio, and it's Bonnie Landau and Ralph White. We're here talking about blogging. So, Bonnie, what do we have left? You've got us, got me convinced. We've got to have a blog, and we've got to be focused about it, and we've got to, have time scheduled for it, and we've got to be out in front and have a long list of subjects, and we've got to, be really committed and do it. And I can see that it has benefit to the business. What else do I need to know?
Well, now you got to get people to come read it.
Oh, you mean after I write the thing, they're going to come? People are really going to read it?
I hope so.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Well, there's quite a few different ways, traditional and some of the newer ways to promote it.
Newer ways. I'm interested in those newer ways.
Well, obviously, the first thing you got to do is let your customers know you have a blog.
Okay,
and invite them to come and read it.
Okay.
And that can be done through an email blast, or every time at Landau Design we send out an email blast, we always put in the sidebar the 3 latest blog posts, so people keep knowing that we're writing this blog and we're providing you with information. So in their traditional ways, every time you talk to customers, when you send out your email blasts, if you send out any printed literature, be sure to put the URL for your blog. In the signature of your email, you could put it. So those are all the more traditional ways. But of course, the new way to do it is through social media.
Okay.
And that plays back into who your audience is and how you're going to reach them. So social media is a whole radio show by itself. But just in terms of blogging, the platforms that seem to be the most successful are Twitter and Facebook in terms of getting people to come read your blog. And why is that so? It's because people are on those platforms looking for information. And so if you're able to connect with people on those platforms who are interested in what you're writing about, they're going to not only follow you, but they're going to share it with other people. And that's how you start getting it to spread a little virally.
Okay. So, but how do I do that?
Mm-hmm. Good question. Well, we talked last time I was on your show about the social media diet,
right,
and actually implementing a social media plan. And that's really the way to do it. Is you have to start by focusing on one outlet for social media. So let's say you're going to focus on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're going to do is on Twitter, you're going to focus on following people and getting people to follow you.
Okay.
And usually the way that you get people to follow you is first you follow people. So you look for people on certain subject areas. So, Jeff was just talking about, he works a lot with architects and designers. So he's looking for interior designers and interior renovators and architects. So he would search tweets and Twitter looking for people who are writing on that subject. And then he would follow them and hope that they follow him back.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't follow him back, he's going to track their conversations. He's going to watch what they're saying. And then he's going to find an opportunity either to retweet them or to join in on their conversation. So a really good example is the other day, there's a blogger, actually it was my friend in South Africa, his whole website went down. And it just happened to be right when I went to read his blog for the day, and the website was down, and he was on Twitter in a full panic. And so I started tweeting back and forth with him, had a conversation, and then he wrote a post on his blog thanking everybody who helped him through the crisis, and he put my name in there because I was one of the people who talked to him. And that's a great way when someone's on Twitter and they put a question or they're going through something, you reply to them, and then suddenly they're going to notice you. And this is a great way if there's people that you really want them to follow you, but there's no way for them to see you if they're not following you. But if you reply to them, they will see that. Okay. And so you really want to watch and wait on Twitter and look for opportunities to interject into the conversation in order to create a dialogue. Now, the first time you do it, they might not say anything. And if you retweet them, they might not say anything. But over the period of a month, if you keep conversing and retweeting them, they're going to notice. And then they follow you back. And guess what? They're going to reciprocate. And then those people will retweet when you tweet your blog posts out.
Okay. Now, I see some people that start following me, and they send me the thing where they're following me, and they're following like 10,000 people, and they've got virtually nobody following them and no tweets. That doesn't seem like the kind of person I want to be following.
No. Every time you pick somebody to follow, it is a little labor intensive, to get people, but it's worth the effort to get good people. You want to look at someone's profile, and if they're following a ton of people and they have hardly anybody following them and they have few tweets, this is not somebody who's in it for the interaction.
Okay.
I'm not sure. There's, people join Twitter and then they just, I don't know what they do. They just watch, I guess. But they're not going to be somebody who's going to reciprocate. The only time you'd want to follow somebody like that, somebody who's being has a lot of people that they're following, is if they're tweeting out information that is useful to you. So, for example, I follow some SEO bot type of people that they just spit out like all kinds of article links to really interesting SEO stuff. They're not going to ever retweet anything I do because they're pulling stuff from other sources, but it's a wealth of information for me. So you need to decide who to follow. Now, when you are choosing people to follow, it is good to look at their tweets and see, do they retweet people? They may not retweet you right off the bat, but if you end up in a dialogue with this person and then you get noticed by them, do you think they're going to reciprocate retweeting?
Yeah. I see all of these tweets that are going on in the middle of the night and in odd hours. These people can't be up 24 hours a day doing this, can they?
Well, Twitter's a worldwide venture.
Yeah, but I mean...
So there are people up in the middle of the night.
I know, but I mean, I'm talking about people I know are in California that are,
have insomnia?
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, there's tools. There's a lot of tools out there that you can pre-program your tweets. My favorite tool by far is called Hootsuite. That's HOOTSUITE, Hootsuite. It lets you manage multiple accounts and schedule tweets, and it's a really great tool for managing all your tweeting. Another one that you know of is Social Umph. Also lets you pre-schedule tweets. Twitter actually, though, became wise to that, and a couple months ago they made it so you cannot tweet the same thing more than once. So every tweet must be unique. So they got wise to those pre-scheduling, but that's how people do it. They use those tools to pre-schedule. And then you can schedule lots of tweets through the clock to promote your blog, but it's really important in social media to remember it's not about you. You need to promote other people and create a dialogue with other people, because if it's all self-promotion, people are going to ignore you.
Okay. All right. Very good. So I very much appreciate all the very valuable information you give me. I've got lots of notes here that I've taken. I'll go home and start doing some of these things. So we'll be right back in just a minute. Thank you very much.
Making it perfect or nothing else is the company culture at Goldbrecht USA, a premier luxury window and door manufacturer. Doing business since 1889, every window and door is made with old-world craftsmanship and the finest materials, meticulous design, sleek finishing, and a commitment to the environment. They even use environmentally friendly transportation. Made in Germany, available in the U.S., Goldbrecht USA is located in Santa Monica, California. For the world's best windows and doors, visit www.goldbrechtusa.com or call now at 310-393-5540. That's 310-393-5540. Whether your business is in products or services, one thing you need to be successful is sales. And now you can take the mystery out of selling and discover how to consistently produce top sales results with Possibilities Unlimited 8-week Sales to Win course. The Sales to Win course can be attended by anyone from anywhere because it's given by conference call. You'll be taught by top sales and marketing experts all about the sales process, and you'll be given top techniques and tips. It's all simply broken down for you and presented in a stress-free environment. But the best thing is, it's so affordable. It's money well spent because you'll make even more money back with your increased sales. Don't wait. Enroll in the Sales to Win course for yourself and your sales staff right now. You won't want to miss this opportunity to raise your bottom line. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538.
Uplifting Talk. HealthyLife.net.
All right. Well, Bonnie, we've come to the end of another show, and I think it was very, very informative. Lots of valuable information for our listeners. So what's the play for the week for our listeners?
Well, I'd like everybody who has a blog to come up with a 3-month plan on how you're going to implement that blog, the consistency, how many days a week, and come up with a plan for promoting it. If you don't have a blog, I'd like you to do an assessment of whether or not a blog would benefit your business. And if you decide yes, it would, then I want you to write a plan for how you're going to implement that blog across the internet. And if you do put together this plan, and every week we give them a play to make the business a little bit better. If you implement a plan, please come to consultingtowin.blogspot.com and post it in the comments for today's blog. And that will be your first SEO point to link back to your blog. I give you permission to put a link in the blog comment, and that would be a great way to promote your blog.
Excellent. Very good. So thank you for listening. And if you have anything that you'd like us to have a future show on, or if you're interested in being on one of our shows or being coached on one of our shows, please send your name and email to Ralph@consultingtowin.com. That's Ralph@consultingtowin.com. We will talk to you next week. And meanwhile, have a very profitable week. Thank you.